Welcome back to Afternoon Live. Have your kids ever asked if they could have cookies for breakfast? Well, our next guest has the perfect kid-approved recipe that adults love too. We welcome to Afternoon Live professional baker Lauren Sharpton is with us today. Lauren, good to have you, especially when you're bringing the cookies.
Thanks for having me.
Like, how do I not pick at those? Because they look so good.
Well, you know, you get to try them in just a minute after you help me make another batch.
I like this, cookies for breakfast. You do it in your house.
We do. So I have 3 kids and I bake a lot. So sometimes they like to bake with me. And this is one of the recipes that they can do with me, and there's no worry about it not turning out or their hands getting something on them that I don't want them to get on and have to rush to the sink. So yeah, we make it at least once a month.
And all good ingredients as well. I mean, things that you'll see for breakfast, but to make them into cookies, it's just different. It has the kids eat them just because they're cookies.
Yeah, we just kind of squish everything we'd probably have for breakfast together anyway, you know, and then we chomp it at the same time. So it's a lot of fun.
So the bananas is the first
so what you want to start with is in a bowl, you want to put 2 bananas, and then this is half a cup of peanut butter. So go ahead and pop that in there.
Okay. And just the creamy, normal.
Just, yeah. I go for creamy peanut butter just because that's my vibe, but honestly,
none of my kids like the chunky. Not a single one.
My kids don't either, and that's probably, I was a chunky like peanut butter lover when I was younger. Yes, and then add 1/4 cup of applesauce. But yeah, my kids don't like chunky either. So we go with the creamy, and that's cool, you know?
Yes.
So this is the part that some kids are gonna love, and some kids are gonna be like, no thanks. You can take a masher and just start
going for it.
Yes. And if the masher doesn't work for you, you can always, or if you don't have a masher, you can always just use a fork. That works too. And you just get in there. Sometimes my kids use their hands when they feel like it. We don't have to make you do that today. You can use the masher. And so when you feel like it's combined as much as you want, again, this is kid dependent. Some kids want it to be super smooth. Some kids don't mind a little chunky banana. And they get to decide. That's what's so nice about this recipe, right?
No oil, no butter.
No oil, no butter. No, so when you have it mixed, that looks awesome. You're just gonna add, this is 3.5 cups of oatmeal. So I'm just gonna add this.
Okay.
And then you want half a cup of chocolate chips. And then a sprinkle, and this is like the magic, a teaspoon of cinnamon. And then this is probably a little bit easier at this point. Kind of just mix that all together until, you know, it's kind of like a cookie dough.
I thought you were going to say the chocolate chips are the magic part, because that's the part that's like, well, since there's chocolate chips in it, I'll eat it, right?
Well, that's true. That is how I honestly get my kids to eat stuff sometimes. It's just put a little bit of chocolate chips
My boys, when they were little, I did have what I called triceratops. So I just take a spoon like this, huge scoop of peanut butter and 3 chocolate chips, and that was like their power punch snack.
That's an amazing idea. I love that. Isn't it amazing, like, when you can make food fun, what kids will do?
They'd like run to me with their mouth full, open, like ready for the triceratops.
Yes, I mean, you know, if it works, it works.
But it was the chocolate chips that was the seller. It was like, I mean, how to get those.
Chocolate chip cookies are my all-time favorite. So those are always in the oven in my house. So yeah, so when you feel like that is sort of one dough that's sort of evenly dispersed, again, this is one of those
pretty forgiving. Yeah,
it's super forgiving. It doesn't, you know, you don't have to worry about your butter staying cold or chilling anything.
Like so?
So yes, that looks awesome. What I forgot to tell you is you preheat your oven 350 while you're doing this. Again, really, honestly, not a big deal. So the next thing you want to do is I use my 1/4 cup measuring scoop to kind of be my measure to make it even. Okay. You could also use an ice cream scoop. You can use a spoon. Yes, and this is also a fun part. You want to try to plop? It's fun.
To plop. You gotta say it though.
Yeah, you gotta plop, plop. There you go. And then you can use your hands, or you can use the bottom of a measuring cup to kind of smoosh it down and make it more cookie.
Okay, so it won't flatten in the oven.
It's not going to flatten because it doesn't have any of those baking soda or baking powder. It's not going to have any sort of chemical reaction like that when it goes in the oven.
I mean, they're essentially granola bars.
Yes, that's another
cookie.
Yeah, so another option is, honestly, if you didn't want to do the scooper, just plop the whole thing on this and just make sure it's evenly dispersed across your baking sheet, and then it'll cook evenly. That's another reason
I like the cookie thing, though. Kind of tricks kids a little bit.
No, seriously, I think that the cookies are just so fun.
Not that I like tricking my kids. Sorry, that came out wrong. But, you know, whatever convinces them to eat the right thing.
Right. Well, it's okay to make food fun. You know what I mean?
Right.
And this cookies, I mean, cookies are fun. you know.
You add raisins instead.
Oh, and if you're...
But kids get really mad when they think the raisins are chocolate chips. I don't know if that's happened to you.
That definitely happens.
It's just a bummer
in my house. Yes. Well, and I think if you don't want to use peanut butter, if you have someone who can't eat peanut butter, replace it with an almond butter or sunflower butter, etc.
So just something that's sticky, gets it all together.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
again,
how long does it bake for?
So you bake it between 12 minutes and 15 minutes at 350, and then you're going to have one of these.
I am going to have one of those. I've been waiting all segment to have one of these. I already know they're going to be delicious.
So, and then
you should have one too.
I'll enjoy
they are delicious.
Breakfast.
I like talking with my mouth full, obviously. And I always take too big a bites that I could never say at the end of the segment. I won't let you, since you just took a bite though. Thank you so much. These are so good.
Thank you.
Really yummy. You guys are going to have this recipe, more information about Lauren on our website at KATU.com. We swallow. Okay.